Hey, Joe.
Hey Jay,
What's up?
how you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm fucking great.
I know, that's right.
You already know.
Yeah, I already have a question for you.
Question for me?
I do.
Oh, shoot. You know I love questions.
I know. Hey, have you ever heard of the Mandela Effect?
I have.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you want to maybe explain it a little bit before we get balls deep into it?
Sure. Yeah. The Mandela Effect. Named after Nelson Mandela. Okay. There's a group of people, a large group of people who swear they remember seeing and hearing about Nelson Mandela dying in prison before he was released and seeing his funeral on TV. Swear. 100% sure.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. Didn't happen,
did it?
No. So there's all these different things where these people have this, we're in a group of people, remember something, small details, different than the way that they really are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the Mandela Effect.
It's interesting because right now, online and in all social media, this is buzzing right now.
Yeah.
So I wanted to jump on this topic and give the world what we think is happening here.
Sure.
Only because we're both fucking doctors and we know it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got that right.
So what I want to do is throw out a couple of questions and maybe we can clarify to our listeners exactly what we're talking about. I'm going to ask a couple questions.
Okay.
And then we'll give you the truth
Later on
in the show.
Okay. Great.
So what I want all the listeners to do right now is to pay attention to these two questions and take a second. I'll pause between each question.
Okay.
And I want them to not do any research. Don't Google shit.
No cheating.
No, don't fucking cheat.
Don't hop on, and then don't be like, I didn't cheat, and then we know you cheated.
Right.
Don't do that.
So take a second and answer honestly what your gut instinct tells you from your own memory, right off the top of your head. So the first question is, now this one is pertaining to the candy bar Kit Kat.
Fantastic candy bar.
Yeah. So on the logo, on the label of the actual bar, what I want to know is, between Kit and Kat, is there a dash?
Is there a dash between Kit and Kat? No, don't look at it. You. I see you.
Yeah, he's fucking Googling.
Yeah,
it.
you're fucking Googling.
Stop.
He just closed out Pornhub,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going right for Google.
Don't
do it.
Don't do it.
How dare you? Don't do it.
So does Kit Kat have a dash? Yes or no? Next question. Next question is about the game, the wholesome, fun family game of Monopoly. Heard of it?
Huge Monopoly player.
Yeah.
Huge. Oh, murder.
Murder that.
Yeah, I'm the Trump of Monopoly. Yeah, I'm bad.
Yes. So in the game of Monopoly, the question is, does rich Uncle Pennybags wear a monocle?
Now that's the guy that gives you the money when you pass go. That's that guy. You know, he's got a little goatee.
Yeah, the one with the hat.
Yeah. That's his name?
Yeah.
He has a legit name?
Rich Uncle Pennybags.
Damn.
Yeah, so he's the face of Monopoly, the guy, the main guy that you can think of when you hear Monopoly, that guy running around with a money sack.
I mean, just luck of the draw for the name. Who would have known?
Yeah.
You know?
So what we want to know, what do you think?
Yeah.
What we want to know to our listeners, what do you guys think? Does he wear a monocle or not?
Yeah. Yeah.
And stop fucking cheating.
Yeah, you're there. Someone just ran to their game closet.
Yeah.
Linda, go to the game closet.
Yeah.
That way you're vicariously cheating, and that's still cheating.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think I may have a third.
Yeah.
Okay. And we get this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like when people send in questions to the Savage Gmail, which is podcastsavage@gmail.com, and keep sending those questions.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Like this one, which came from Angela Ann about the Mandela Effect. Whenever they leave us a question, at the end they always do this thing.
Yeah.
Because it's their favorite part of the show.
Mm-hmm.
They write 1, 2, 3, karate.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's just weird that we're talking about this because we don't say 1, 2, 3, karate.
I was wondering why they put that.
Yeah. So just so you guys are aware, we're gonna play our intro right now so you can see what we say and you can hear for yourself. I love the whole thing. I'm glad you guys are emailing us and saying that, but we don't say karate. So here it is. 1, 2, 3. Krav Maga.
Yeah.
Defense is my specialty.
It looks like a sturgeon.
Combat.
Back off my dick.
Sex.
Don't think I won't slap you.
The Jewish rainbow?
Wanna Snickers and chill?
Mind control. Hey everyone, welcome to the Savage Podcast.
Glad to have you, motherfuckers. And we're back. So there you go.
There it is.
As you can see,
Mm-hmm.
that is 1, 2, 3,
Krav Maga.
which is what we've always been saying.
Yeah.
Definitely a better art form. So, the Mandela Effect. It's just now there's 1,000 different theories and conspiracy theories about it.
Yeah.
Right? One is the predisposition of the mind to want to have things that don't cause a dissonance in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Take there's a famous one, Oscar Mayer.
Yeah.
Okay? Everyone knows the song. My
Yeah.
baloney has a first name. It's Oscar,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then everyone says my baloney has a second name.
Mm-hmm.
It's Mayer
Right.
because it sounds nice.
Mm-hmm.
May. It's not May. It's Meyer.
Right.
It's Oscar Mayer, right?
So that's interesting. Let's go ahead and reveal the truth about the first two questions because I think our people had long enough to think about this.
You think that was ample time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Only because now their minds are going to be blown when they realize what the answers truly are, and that'll further push the what you just said about Oscar Mayer.
Sure.
So the first question was Kit Kat. Does it have a dash? Yes or no?
The answer is
No. No, it does not.
does not have a dash.
Right.
Incredible.
Yeah. And the second one was the Monopoly guy. Does rich Uncle Pennybags wear a monocle? And the answer is
No. That one fucked me up.
Yeah.
I could have sworn that motherfucker wore a monocle.
Yep.
If anyone wore a monocle, it was that motherfucker.
Right. And if you don't believe us, feel free to Google it now.
Or
and
go to your game closet.
Or go to your game closet and check it out because he doesn't have one.
It's strange.
Yeah.
Strange.
So now that you're mind fucked,
Yeah.
mind control.
Yeah, now that you're mind fucked,
Yeah.
we're kicking you out.
So back to Oscar Mayer.
Yeah.
The spelling of it
Now,
and the song.
yeah, now here's the weird thing. Your brain has this thing where it doesn't like dissonance. And that even goes, you can apply this to all the rest of the other two questions. The brain likes the easiest explanation and path for everything. It's just the way that it's wired. Even if you have a complex brain, even if you're a genius, it still wants the easiest path.
Right.
So Mayer is the easiest path. This is just an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, an old goateed pimp like Rich Uncle Pennybags, to me, that you need a monocle.
Yeah.
It just, your brain is like, yeah, that guy's got a fucking monocle.
Mhm.
You goddamn, if anyone does, he does.
He does.
Right?
Yeah, you always think of the old rich white guy with that nice top hat and the goatee
And
and a bag of fucking money.
that fat money,
And what else does he have?
a monocle.
Right.
Nailed it. Yeah, that guy's not wearing glasses. He doesn't have time
Yeah.
to put two lenses on his face. He needs one to check his fucking money and one to look in the distance, make sure you're not touching his property or passing go without collecting that fat money. Right?
Right.
So, fucking strange.
Yeah.
So there's one theory, dissonance in the brain. You know, is that the root cause? Okay, it could be the root cause, but is it the root cause for millions and millions of people?
It's interesting, right?
It's weird.
It is weird.
It's weird. So then you dip into like some conspiracy theories.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the government?
That's a good question.
Could be the government, right?
Yeah.
One theory is CERN,
Mm-hmm.
CERN,
Mm-hmm.
the inventors of the World Wide Web,
Okay.
who also hold the LHC, which is the Large Hadron. What the fuck is it? Basically, it's a particle accelerator, and it's the most powerful one in the world.
Yes.
And they run these tests every so often, and the tests run for years and years.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how they discover subatomic particles, by smashing energy into itself harder than anything can on the planet. And that's how they discovered the Higgs boson particle, which was was very recent. But they run these tests for 3 years at a time, and they're trying to see if, when they run these tests, because of the forces and all the physics generated during these huge particle movers, if it has some kind of effect on the magnetic poles of the Earth, cosmic rays, and if it's resetting people's brains, or maybe if it's even deeper and they're doing it on purpose.
Right.
So there's another theory. And I guess the other theory is someone out there is systematically changing little things and seeing if they can alter memory, one little thing, one monocle at a time.
Yeah. Now, for all those haters out there
and there are haters.
There are haters that are like, oh, that's all this shit is whacked and bullshit and kind of crazy. I'm going to go ahead and not defend. What I'm going to do is defend the idea of questioning it, because a lot of people will completely shut it down and say, oh, no, this is fucking stupid. This is just another whack idea. Why not entertain at least the thought of it? Give it some fucking thought yourself.
Sure.
Maybe if you're so curious as to read a book or to do a little bit of research yourself, realize how history has happened.
Yeah.
It's always been those little quirks that years and years and years later we find out.
Yeah.
Not small things.
The details.
Yeah, the details.
The little details.
The devil is in the details.
The devil really is in the detail. Yeah, it really is. I just wanted to correct myself. It's the Large Hadron Collider, the LHC, that CERN runs. And
Yeah.
it's a huge magnet interconnection, and they
Right.
run it for a long time. So just wanted to,
Right.
because there's science people out there that rely on me,
Sure.
and I'm a fucking doctor.
Right.
Going into what you were just talking about, the devil in the details thing. Can you give us like an example of what you're talking about?
As far as the devil being in the details?
Yeah, give us a little example.
Well, the one that I was thinking of I'll go ahead and just put it out there. The one that I was thinking of that people fail to realize when they're in the moment and things happen. Now, when I was in college, I was a biopsychology major.
Yeah.
So we did all these tiny little fucking studies. We read about studies, endless fucking boring studies. But there were a couple that were fairly fucking interesting, and how, like you were saying, with the magnetic and things. And it's interesting that these people are doing studies on these molecules smashing into each other. It's not just the movies, folks. There's reasons behind it, and they're bigger reasons that we can even fathom.
Yeah.
And every good reason is always tailed by a bad reason because of the possibility of power.
Sure.
And it can't be overlooked. I guess the example, which this might be somewhat off topic, but the thing that I was thinking about in my head where people don't realize is, back in the day, Hitler used to burn his own banks down, and he would blame it on the Jews.
Incredible.
He would burn his own shit down just to fuel the fire. Now, living in Nazi Germany at the time, everyone can be like, oh, that's just a conspiracy. No. But the majority of the people had to think, oh man, those fucking Jews, they fucking hold the money. They're burning the banks down. They're taking the money with them. It's all gone. And it fucking uprises. And it, like we always say, life is a game of chess.
Sure.
We always refer back to jujitsu being a game.
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
So this is a game of chess played on such a higher level. So now we're in a day and age of technology. Why isn't this possible to say that people are doing tiny micro, macro, either way experiments just to see how humans interact, react, remember, which is so huge, because not only are people remembering a certain way, they're remembering all we are as humans, all we are experiences and memories, correct? That's all we are. Everything that we've built up, who we are as a person. Now imagine if you can change a person by altering their idea of what the past was. Now, as a fucking chess player, all you have to do is alter memories from the past and you change the outcome of the future.
Sure. Absolutely. Wow.
I hope that was a good enough example.
Yeah, that was a very good example. Jesus. Yeah, and that's fucking freaky when you think about it, because then you can start going into things like these little experiments that they do, which cause people to really second guess themselves, is not far away from tomorrow. Your president is, I don't know, Nicolas Cage.
Right.
And everyone was able to make you forget who the fuck you voted for.
Right.
And you go, I could have swore I voted for Hillary.
Yeah.
No, you voted for Nicolas Cage.
Right.
Okay, well there it is.
Yeah.
I guess I'm a Republican now.
Yeah.
And it's not that far off.
No,
it's not that far off.
It's not. Our president right now is going to be Donald Trump.
Because if you're one of the people right now that are sitting, if you're one of the people there that are sitting and going, I thought that motherfucker had a monocle. It already worked in theory. Right. If that's what they're doing, if that's what's going on, it already worked.
It worked.
It already worked.
Yeah, you don't even know it.
And now you've got to go about your life going, well, he had no monocle. Now, could he have had a monocle at some point?
Right.
It's not hard for whoever's in control of everything to go back and change anything. You know, they take the monocle away, they change everything, reprint everything, come in your bed when you're sleeping.
Right. And it could be just because we don't know the answers of exactly their format and how they're doing it. It could have been just something that was put in front of us that was such a significant event that changed and altered our memory. Or we could be reflecting off of a different character, maybe on purpose, maybe not. But you and I were talking about earlier how people could be misconceiving and re-altering their memories. And what am I trying to say? The peanut, what's the peanut guy?
Oh yeah, Mr. Peanut.
Mr. Peanut.
For the peanut company, whatever they are.
Yeah, some peanut butter company.
Yeah, the peanut guy.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that asshole.
Yeah.
He's got a monocle.
He's got a monocle.
Now our people, yeah, there you go.
So whether that's on purpose, whether it's not, it's kind of weird how, now whether there's a conspiracy or not, now at the very minimum, people have to ask themselves,
am I a racist? Because if you're grouping together cartoon people like that and just assuming they all wear monocles, you're a fucking racist. So now you've got 3 questions to ask yourself. Am I misremembering? Is the government taking over? Or am I actually a closet racist?
right?
There it is.
I love that. Yes.
I like thought experiments. And one of the best ones is, just to show you how feeble the mind can be, Richard Dennett wrote a book called Consciousness Explained, which after reading it, you realize it's kind of a play on words. You can't really explain it because it's not a physical thing you can grasp. But one of the experiments he does is how to show what the consciousness is like. And what he does is he sends a guy into a room and he says, with just yes or no questions from a group of 30 people, I want you to relay your dream to them. So a guy walks into a room, there's 30 people, he can only answer yes or no. And the first guy goes, was there a zebra? And he says, yes. And then the next guy goes, was there a unicorn? And he says, no. And after everyone asks their questions, they can kind of piece together with just random questions what his dream may have been about.
Right.
And now the guy's got a dream. Here's the thing. Before he went into the room, someone told him if the last letter of the question they ask ends with an A to a J, you say yes. And if the last letter is from a K to a Z, you say no. And you can systematically create a story with no author.
Wow.
Just based on response. And that's how the consciousness works. So to assume, when you look at the grand scheme of things of how technology can feed your brain and maybe override your senses or how you perceive the world and what you think it really is, you got to remember that you can never really have an answer because we still don't know the true nature of consciousness. We still don't know.
Right, and you can almost take a look, if you step back and look at this whole idea, it's almost like a giant magic trick.
Yeah.
Right? So the magician already knows what he wants your response and reaction to be. Mm-hmm. Right? So now all he has to do is figure out how to get to that point, how to wow you, and how to put the right answer in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
Even though he knows everything behind the scenes. And then what I'm doing right now in my head is I'm relaying that over to almost coding of like a website, right? You have a set of rules that you have to follow, and then you implement those rules, and then with those set of rules, you can start to manage all of the information down to an answer. And what that does is it shines a little light on everything we're talking about right now, because if someone is playing a trick on us, or if it's just us in our own heads, you can even use these examples as how we work and our mind works as humans. Because if my mind was blown when I was like, fuck yeah, he's got a monocle.
Yeah, mine
Are you
too.
fucking kidding me?
So was mine, actually.
But now you look at all the trivial, all of the way our brains work, and then you bring it down to simple coding, as if our brains were computers, which they are.
Yeah.
And they compute almost the same way. You know, you have a set of rules, like, okay, if that stop sign is, has a certain amount of sides, or if that sign over there has a certain amount of sides and it's a certain color, I'm going to recognize that as a stop sign.
Sure.
And going back to what we were talking about with our basic senses, right? So if someone can find a way to manipulate or to change something in the coding, something in the rules,
just a little bit, they really just have to change a little.
Alter it.
Just a little bit.
Alter it.
Yeah.
Is it that big of like
obstacle?
Is it that crazy?
No. And I can give you an example of that in real life. One thing you'll hear people say about colorblind people is, oh, they don't see green. Oh, he can't see red. Oh, it's got to be tough. Their brain is altered. That pathway is altered, but that's their reality.
Right.
They didn't grow up thinking they were missing colors because they don't know what those colors are.
Right.
That's their reality. Green to them is non-existent.
Right.
Just like you don't see like a butterfly. Butterflies can see in every spectrum of light. So they see this tripped out fucking super colorful world that we don't see.
Right.
That's their own reality. And it's just, if it alters, here's in summary what I'm saying. If it was to be altered, would you even know?
There it is.
Boom.
There it is.
So reality itself is a scary thing. Like, we have this whole thing like, no, we know what reality is. Okay. I can smell the coffee going in the morning. I can see Jay's perfect hair. I can touch Todd's sweaty back when we're grappling. All these different things. But it's just weird because is that really real?
Right.
Sometimes I look at my fan and I go, why does that exist? Like, what is that?
Right.
We're here. Why do we have fans? Like, what's the real reason here? Like, what's going on? Like, what are we doing?
Right.
It just shit like that. Reality is it's the weirdest part of existence is existence itself.
Right. And I think, believe it or not, as a kid, I used to question these things just as a kid. And I think it's because my mind was, less infused with bullshit of the real world.
Sure.
And seeing how, all of our experiences, it molds me who I am today. But back as a kid, you have less experiences, so your mind is a little bit more free. So when I was a kid, I used to think, about people's realities, and how could we think that, okay, we have 5 senses. How do we know there's nothing out there that has more senses that pull in more information, less information, or different information to create a new reality?
Yeah.
And like you were saying with the butterfly, it opens up the whole spectrum of light, and they can see everything. Their reality and their truth is completely different than ours.
Completely different.
Right.
And it's a fucked up thing. Think about your reality if you don't have sight.
Right.
And I'm not saying you were blinded at 13. I'm saying you're an animal that does not have eyes.
Right.
Your reality is the images that are relayed in your brain are insane.
Mm-hmm.
They're insane. It's nuts when you start thinking about it.
Yeah, and there's cases, scientific studies being done on people that can, hear. When they hear music, they see certain colors, or they can see in colors.
Sure.
And and all this shit's like, oh no, it's not possible. It's possible.
It's extreme. Look at a raccoon. Here, let me give you a little bit of animal trivia right now. When a raccoon is at a creek, which is usually where they find food, everyone sees them. They think they, are washing everything. When a raccoon dips its hands into the riverbed, they are never looking in the riverbed. What they're doing is they have very sensitive paws. Mm-hmm. And when they're searching around for crayfish or queen snakes or salamanders or newts, what they're doing is they're creating a mental map inside their brain, which is something that we could never really, really fathom unless you have the reality of a raccoon.
Right.
It's just as simple as that. Reality is totally based off the internal workings of your body, mind, consciousness, brain, organs, all of it. That is your reality. Mm-hmm. It does not have to be a blue and green world where there's stars at night and there's coffee in the morning. That is not reality. That is your version of reality.
Right.
It's very, very strange when you start thinking about it.
Right. And just think about how your reality, or our reality as a human race, would be changed just by altering one little thing. Let's go with the example of, let's say we tasted with our feet. Mm-hmm. Right. So people are walking around barefoot, and all they can do is taste the ground. Don't you think that we would have the cleanest floors possible? Yep. And then later on, as humans progressed, we would probably put shoes on that were ridiculously clean, and then they would come out with different shoes with soles that had different flavors to put you in a sweet mood, or I love chocolate, or
there'd be pizza all over the floor.
Yeah.
Lockport. So shout out to Lockport, we hate you. And just that, you can even do it individually. Reality. Everybody in their mind right now, close their eyes and imagine a purple cow. Just imagine a cow that's purple. Now, you're purple and the guy next to you is purple are two completely different purples. Your cow could be facing left. His might be right. One dude might have accidentally imagined a giraffe. It's not out of the realm of possibility. It's just one of those things that, what is your brain going to do? What is your reality? Mm-hmm. It can be, that's why fucking hallucinogens are such an amazing thing. Mm-hmm. And touching back on what you said about kids.
Yeah.
Kids lack the mental barriers that we as adults get. Mm-hmm. When you and I, we've grown up, we know that, that's a wall. Yeah. You can't walk through it. Yeah. A baby doesn't know that.
Right.
A brand new baby has no idea until he walks into the fucking wall.
They have less parameters.
Yeah. Until that point, that doesn't exist to him. Right. They don't know that this means that and that means that. And that's why children, they're like super creative. Mm-hmm. And why, as you become an adult, that creativity can get stunted. Let me tell you, folks, the only difference between Einstein and you, the only difference is his childlike view of the world never left him. That curiosity never left. Einstein himself said he was not a genius. He was just incessantly curious. And that's what children are. And a lot of this reality stuff is based on the limits and the barriers that you're given as you grow into an adult. I would love to see an example of what a human being could do mentally if he was never subjected to the rules and regulations of an adult human living in civilization. I would love to see where his brain could go
Right.
if you could measure that.
Yeah.
Because it'd probably be like, whoa, dude, you're not operating within the laws of physics right now.
Yeah.
You need to chill out. This is, that's a stop sign. You have to stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't run that fast. We have limits.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And another thing about Einstein is everyone thinks that, oh, well, he had a bigger brain. Turns out he was actually missing a part of his brain.
Missing it.
So they're trying to study that and how that affects that affected his reality. Another, talking about babies and infants and all that. When you play peekaboo with an infant, you put your hands in front of their face and pull your hands away and, peekaboo.
Yeah.
They think their reality is that you disappeared, that you're not there, since they can't compute that they can't see your face. So they think that you're not existent and that you're not in the room anymore.
Yeah.
And then it excites them when you appear.
Yeah.
And that's because they don't have those parameters.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's amazing how it's great that you just brought up how what it would be like to have somebody that's an adult that doesn't have those parameters built in. We actually in the art world, in the world of art, it's interesting. What they did was they took these famous artists, right, and they told them to make a drawing with certain like paints, right, an abstract paint of like, let's just say a clown or something.
Okay.
And they did it, and what they did was they took a kid and told the kid to do the same exact thing. And then what they did was they took the two pictures, and they've done this multiple times, and they hung them in an art gallery, and they told people to walk by and judge it and say, what do you think of these two pictures? And then what they also did was they took another group of people and told them to walk by and pick out which one was done by the kid and which one was done by the adult. The first group of people were amazed by both. And the second group of people, it was mixed reviews because people were literally just taking a guess because they couldn't figure it out.
Wow.
So I think we do have humans that go on to be famous and go on to be big and great artists, not only in painting, but music and any other facet of quote unquote art. Is we can almost see that they have a bigger imagination and they're not weighed down by the parameters of being an adult.
Sure. And that's one of the, and it's within everybody.
Yeah.
It really is within everybody.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, that's huge because, I've seen some kids' drawings and I've looked at them and go, that is the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when you tell them just to draw. My niece, Lily, she'll go to the chalkboard and just start drawing shit, smiley faces, and the shit looks kind of whack. Not going to lie.
Right.
It's like abstract. It's dark. Some of the faces are like, it's like, what the fuck? But you know what? Then when they get to be about 8, 9, they're all drawing the same fucking shit. It's terrible. It's like, okay, everything's a fucking smiley face with flowers. I swear, some of the best shit you can get is from a child who has not the 5-year-old who is colored in a coloring book and stayed within the lines, but tell your child for the first time who's just starting to draw a smiley face, look at that wretched fucking face that they draw and take a picture of that, because that's true art. There are no limits. That kid is going, I think I know what this looks like. Mm-hmm. No motor skills. It's just going right from the heart.
Yeah.
And it's going to be terrible, but it's going to be like, it's amazing to me.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me.
And, that's awesome. I love that you just said that, because now I'm thinking, so you have that kid that's drawing, right? And it's almost an imprint on the way we grew up and the way we put rules in front of us. What is that kid always going to be trying to do his whole life is trying to perfect that face. So you have him as an artist with no boundaries. And now he grows up and he's trying to draw that perfect eye. He's trying to draw that perfect smile. Those are rules.
Yeah.
Those are rules.
Sure.
And that kind of coincides with the whole idea of, okay, go to school and become something. You got to get the 9-to-5 job, support your family, and then retire. And when you get old, no one's going to like you, and then you're going to die, and you're probably not going to have enough money for your funeral. That's just the way it is now.
Yeah.
But now there's those outliers of the game.
Yeah.
People that are quote unquote famous because they chose not to live in those specific rules. Yeah, you're going to get great, amazing people that followed the fucking rules their whole life, but most people grow up being confined. We're being channeled through we're being pushed through channels like a herd of cows, if you will.
Yeah.
Think about it. Next time you're standing in line at the fucking grocery store, you're a fucking cattle. You're waiting in line behind someone in front of you that you're taking this processed piece of fucking food, and you're gonna wait in line. Next,
right on the conveyor belt.
Put it on the conveyor belt. Next.
Yep.
And then when you go to check out, next, they're standing there miserable. They take your hard-earned money, and then you take...
And that's all going to be poop soon.
And it's all going to be shit.
Yeah.
So I love this conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is
I could go on for this for hours.
Yeah. For those of you who want to research this a little bit more, once again, it's the Mandela Effect, and there's so much to talk about. So this is going to probably be something that comes up in podcasts in the future, because Joe and I, when we found this topic, it's amazing how this came to our attention, and we're going to talk about that later.
Sure. I got a couple more just fun examples.
Yeah.
Outside of what we were talking about, just for people to kind of breeze over in their head.
Yeah.
Here's a good one. This one kind of got me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Was a little surprised at this. Now that I think about it, I can't tell what I remembered. See, that's the thing now. Now that I'm thinking about the Mandela Effect, I can't tell if I'm biased towards it or not, but Fruit Loops is actually spelled F-R-O-O-T Loops.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you would have asked me that 4 days ago, I may have spelled fruit the actual way it's supposed to be spelled.
Right.
Okay. So that's a weird one. Jiffy peanut butter does not exist.
It's not real.
There's no such thing as Jiffy. It's Jif.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a weird one. Interview with the Vampire isn't called Interview with a Vampire. It's Interview with the Vampire. I was a big Anne Rice fan. I did not know that. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was Interview. I thought it was the other one.
Yeah.
Hannibal Lecter never said, "Hello, Clarice." He never said that.
Never.
That one fucks me hard like an 8-dicked walrus, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Honest to God. He simply says, "Good morning." That's it. I could have swore he said that.
Yeah.
Life isn't like a box of chocolates. Turns out he says life was like a box of chocolates.
Yeah. So when everyone's out there quoting Forrest Gump, all those girls that think it's their favorite 4-hour fucking movie,
Yeah.
you're quoting it wrong, because it's not life is like a box of chocolates. He said that his mother said that life was like a box of chocolates.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, right, everybody? No. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
everybody.
Save a couple of them, though, because what we're going to do
I think that's the only one. Oh, there's one more, and this one goes back to my childhood.
You want to talk about it, or you want to throw up a poll? It's up to you.
Okay, we'll save this one. This
Okay.
is a good one.
Okay.
I used to, yeah, we'll save that one. But there you go. The Mandela Effect. Again, those are those things that you think you remember, but who knows the real reason behind all that? It's like mass hysteria almost.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like a different version of Stockholm Syndrome almost. It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
So, yeah, check that out.
Yeah.
And then more to come soon.
More to
come. Check the polls on Twitter. Jay, how do they find us on Twitter?
They find us on Twitter, &podcast. Podcast Savages.
Yeah.
That's ampersand Podcast Savages. You can also check us out. Well, send in your questions.
Yeah.
These questions are getting ridiculous.
Yeah, we really like send these. These are great.
Yeah, and these people are starting to. You can tell from the questions that we're gonna share with you today that people are really they're paying attention in detail because it's incredible.
Yeah, I feel like they know what we like now.
Yeah,
and they're sending in stuff that we really love, which is great.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah. So our email is podcastsavage@gmail.com.
Yep.
That's podcastsavage@gmail.com. Also follow us on SoundCloud, also on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe.
Please subscribe.
And then we're going to start getting into our Snapchat a lot more.
Yeah.
Coming up here in the future.
And that's the Savage Podcast.
Yeah, check us out on our Snapchat. That's a Savage Podcast. And check it out. We're going to be posting some questions that we're going to be sharing your answers live. Hopefully either the audio or the video. So if you want to be seen on the show, heard on the show, make sure you respond to any questions that we post.
Yeah, definitely add us. We're going to have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
And also YouTube too. Again, we've been pretty busy getting this podcast in order, and it's catching a lot of fire, and it's really awesome. And we do a lot of work for this podcast. So coming soon after the new year, you're going to be seeing how-to videos on YouTube featuring us two handsome bastards, covering all kinds of topics from DIY to MMA to maybe just how to fire someone.
Yeah.
We'll cover it all for you. Any comments, suggestions, again, send it in to the Gmail. Send it into our email, and we'll see what you can do for you there. But the Snapchat is going to be really cool. We're going to post some things on there, some questions, and you just send in your 10-second response, and you got a chance to be on the show.
Also, shout out to any kind of quote-unquote local bands. Not just local here in New York. Local anywhere in your own hometown. If you want us to check out your music, we would love to.
Jay and I are musicians, in case you couldn't tell just by our awesome voices, but both of us have been musicians now for about 15 years.
Right, and that's actually a part of the answer to one of our questions, so maybe we should answer that.
Okay, but just going on that, if you've got a band in your local hometown that you think is really awesome, and maybe they just aren't getting enough airtime, or maybe you want them to have more airtime, we'd be happy to help out. So send them our way.
Yeah.
We'll hook them up. We'll get them on the show. Whatever we got to do.
Yeah. I love it. So you want to jump into these questions?
I always like to jump into questions.
All right. Well, let's go with that one. Question. The first question is, I noticed the savage... What's that?
There we go.
There
we go.
I noticed the Savage Podcast essentially took off overnight. How is this possible? Did you guys go to school for it? ? And this comes in by Sylvia from Washington, D.C. D.C., yeah.
Wow. Okay, cool. I have never been there, by the way.
I have. Amazing.
Is it really?
I love D.C. so much. I would live there. They're Smithsonian's.
Oh yeah, fuck.
Shit.
That's a reason enough.
The best museums in the country,
possibly the world.
I haven't been to all of them, but I don't need to go to any more.
Yeah,
and they're all free and amazing.
That's incredible. Thank you, Sylvia.
Yes.
Well, can I kick this one off?
Kick it off.
Okay. When you start podcasting, there is a learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that learning curve involves not just knowing how to be natural on air. I think that's something that everybody has to get over. But what is sound? What's a microphone? What's recording software? What's a compressor? What's equalization? How do I find topics? All these things. One of the great benefits that Jay and I had that your average guy who maybe wants to talk about golf all day doesn't have is years, almost decades. Almost decades now. We're getting close. almost decades of experience in music, sound, and recording, along with all the equipment that goes for it. So one of the big hurdles was when you listen to a person who's got a brand new podcast, it's, it doesn't sound that great.
Are they recording from their phone?
Yeah. Is that
underwater?
Is that a BlackBerry from '04? Well, Jay and I already had great equipment. So figuring out how to record, figuring out how to set levels, how to adjust a mixer, what mics to use, what a condenser mic is, all that stuff, we already knew that.
Right.
So right away, we were pros.
Yeah.
We were pros. As far as getting topics
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that, because people are always like, well, what do I start? Jay and I both are what I guess you would call outside the box learners. Maybe in school, this might be more for me. I can't completely speak on Jay's part, but in school, when someone's forcing me to learn something, that's the easiest way to tell me you don't want to learn this. So I've always been interested in things and learning on my own. So when there was an avenue for me to spout off how much I know about everything,
Yeah.
it was just a natural thing. So that's why Jay, why don't you say a little bit on this, because I know you got your own ideas.
No, I think you fucking nailed it. I'm more of a hands-on learner, and
Yeah,
I'm also the person that if I want to jump into something, people fucking grow up, get old, and look back on their life and say, man, I really wish, oh God, I wish I would have been a scuba diver, or oh my God, that MMA stuff looks fucking awesome. I wish I would have. I'm the person that's going to get up off my fucking ass and become a black belt in anything I fucking do.
Yep, absolutely.
So that being said, it's for me, and I'm going to speak for Joe. It's it's world experiences and being the way that we naturally are. When we didn't know each other, we were conquering the world in our own way and just going to do things.
Yep.
And after becoming one, we found our way onto the jiu-jitsu mats and into hitting heavy bags and Muay Thai and all of the fight training, boxing, yoga, fucking kettlebells, everything. We light each other's fucking fire and we just go.
We just go.
We just fucking go, and no one's gonna stop us.
No one.
And that's the beauty about it. So yeah, I'm a hands-on guy. I go out and I learn with my hands, and I just do, and I become a black belt and just live.
Yeah.
I live the life that everyone looks back. Everyone's like, oh man, that fucking old guy over there. Well, you know what? I'm the guy that goes and sits down and has a conversation with that old fuck. And I say, you know what? What do you regret? What do you regret not doing? And you know what I do? I go out and I do that. So I make sure that I'm not going to sit down one day and think, oh man, when I had a strong back,
yeah,
I wish I did that.
Yeah, you do have a strong back.
So, yes, awesome question.
So there you go. And just to touch a little bit on that, if you're a podcaster and you're out there, and you do have any questions, go ahead, send them to me and Jay and I. Sound that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Having that really good sound off the beginning makes you sound professional. So if we can help you in any way,
yes,
throw us some questions. We'll help you out.
Yes, we would love to help out. Just as Joe and I have been blessed to come in contact with certain people that have guided us along the way. It's not, we're not so. We're cocky as fuck. Don't fucking get that wrong. We're
Don't
cocky.
get it turned.
Don't turn it. Don't turn it.
Yeah.
Don't turn it, bae. Even though we are overly fucking confident in everything we do, and confident beyond fucking belief, we will never stop learning.
Never.
I tell people all the time, I learn from fucking 3-year-old kids. You can learn anything from anyone.
Yep.
So we never turn our mind off.
Never turn your mind off.
Yeah.
That's the actual definition of death.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Awesome question. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sylvia.
Thanks for letting us go on a rant on how great we are.
I got one here.
Yeah.
This is from Terry in Connecticut. If Brock Lesnar fought a gorilla, who would win?
That's a good question. Ooh. Brock Lesnar.
Jay picks Brock Lesnar. I got the gorilla all day.
You got the gorilla?
Yeah.
Is it a baby gorilla? Is
No.
it a full-grown fucking male?
Well, we'll go with
that's ready to fuck?
yeah, that one.
Oh no, the gorilla. Because then fuck his name?
Mark
You just
Hunt.
said it. No, not Mark Hunt. Brock Lesnar's gonna get fucked
Yeah, big
by
time.
a silverback.
Yeah, by a silverback who's got about 150 pounds on
in
him.
his penis.
Yeah, that's an easy question. But thank you. Interesting. Terry from Connecticut. Gorilla all day. Brock wouldn't even be able to beat a full-grown male chimp.
You said that gorillas are developed where they are 700 times our strength or something.
Seven. They have the muscle. Their muscle fibers are so dense and as strong and as big and as awesome as Brock Lesnar is, that gorilla, if it got a grip just around Brock's wrist and it didn't want to let go, he'd never ever get out if it didn't want him to.
Right. So next time you're sitting back, people, and you think, oh, we're so superior in every way, think about how superior Brock Lesnar is to you.
Yeah.
And now just think of something as simple out of the animal kingdom.
Yeah.
As a gorilla
That could
destroying his fucking life.
Yeah. It could literally grab him and take him wherever it wanted to go. That's how strong they are.
Yeah.
So there you go. Gorilla all day.
Thank you for the question.
Thank you. Thanks, Terry. What do you got?
Next question.
Next.
I have the next question.
Sounds good.
Okay, I love this question. This one, all right, so she writes, I'm a huge fan of Anya Alburn. I heard you express that you guys would like to have her on the show. Any update? This is from Audrey from Dallas, Texas, and she has a postscript. P.S. 1. Huge fan of the Savage Podcast. I love you guys. 2. Seed was terrifying.
Oh, she read it.
She read it.
Oh, there you go.
It's my all-time favorite book. Anya Alburn.
There you go. Actually, yeah, we do have an update there. Anya Alburn will be on this show.
Yeah.
February 10th.
Very nice.
Of 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's when she's scheduled to come, or that's when we're scheduled to speak with her, or is that when it's going to air?
Both.
Okay, good.
We're going to speak to her that day, and we're going to air it that day.
Okay, good.
So there you go. February 10th, Anya Alburn will be on the show. We got a whole bunch of questions for her. Yes, agreed. Seed is the most terrifying book I have also ever read. That fucking book scared the actual shit out of me. You look on any top scary novels of all time, it's on there always. That's actually how I found it. I needed a book. I had been reading a lot of horror books, and I was in this mood for about a year where I just wanted to read the scariest books. Like I wanted something that would terrify me, and I kept getting let down. And at the end of the book, I'd be like, "Yeah, that was cool, but did it actually scare me?" And the answer was usually no. And so I saw this book, and to tell you the truth, what turned me on was the cover of it. I was like, "Well, that can't be bad," and I read it. And about halfway through, I realized that when I shut the book and turn the lights out and go to sleep for the night, it was going to be tough.
Yeah. Let me explain to you my experience.
Okay.
So I quit. I stopped reading the fucking book. I stopped. Joe, I stopped. I threw the book at my wall. I have the book right here, folks, in my hand.
There it is.
Seed by Anya Alburn.
How's that cover? Is that not beautiful?
Yeah, it's a gorgeous cover. The colors and the artistry in it, it's a beautiful, beautiful book. It's a beautiful read. Although I'm still working on it, I'm going to have to do it at a train station where there's hundreds of people running around or, definitely not on an airplane because
No.
I'm going to why is he running? Why is he doing sprints up this fucking 12-yard? Anyway, so I've been reading this book for about 2 weeks on and off, just fucking, and I got to tell you, I am fucking shook.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what page I'm on?
What?
Page 6. Anya Allborn, Seed. She's going to be on our show.
Yep.
And you better fucking listen because it's going to be a great...
She's got a new book coming out right before that, and that is The Devil Crept In. And I got news for you. With the way her career is going and the way she's writing and how each book progressively gets just better, and she's actually growing as an artist, which is what you're supposed to do. This is the most excited for a book I have ever been in my life. I can't fucking wait.
Yeah.
I can't fucking wait.
It's going to be epic.
So looking forward to talking to her and tune in if you're a horror fan at all, a book fan, if you just like things.
Yeah.
Tune in February 10th, 2017, baby.
Love it.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
This is from George's in Saint Denis.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently we're big in Saint Denis.
Oh, we are.
Yeah.
According to the analytics and Waking Up Famous, we are. Where is it? Who cares? We're famous there.
This is another animal question.
Mm-hmm.
What is the deadliest snake in the world?
That's easy. That would be Sav Joe's penis. Next question. Next question.
Well, Georges, that's a 3-pronged question. And they're all my penis. I'll recap this quick because we got to get to this 5th question. But the deadliest snake in the world can be divided into 3 categories. The first one is, where is the snake? Okay? If you were to say what is the deadliest snake in the world based on deaths per year, it'd be the Russell's viper. Why? Is it the most potent venom? No. Is it the most aggressive snake? No. But guess what? It lives in India where there is terrible health care and a huge population of people.
Right.
So right there, that you could say is the deadliest snake. Then you've got the Gaboon viper. It has the largest fangs of any snake and delivers the most venom per any snake. Huge amounts of venom. If you get bit by one, that's cash money. So you could say, but that you don't come across them often, and they're not aggressive at all.
Right.
They just lay in wait. So you could say that's the deadliest snake. Drop for drop venom, the strongest venom in the world belonging to a snake is the inland taipan in Australia. If you get bit, you're dead you're dead as fuck.
Yeah.
It's like 0.05 micrograms can kill a full-grown elephant, and it delivers like 300 at a time. You are all, and here's the shit part. You only find them in the most remote parts of the outback in Australia. They live it's like the snake knows what a hospital is and lives as far from them as possible.
Right.
Are you ever going to come across one in your life? No. Are they ever going to bite you? No. If you get bit one, is that it? If you get bit by one, is that it? Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah, you don't even have to worry at that point.
No. You might as well not. You got bit by an inland taipan.
You're not going to have time.
Game over.
It's done.
Game over. That's the answer. Thanks, George, from Saint Denis, where we're famous as fuck.
Yeah, I love it.
Thanks, brother.
I love it. Hey, Joe, one more time, where can people find us and email these fucking incredible questions in?
You can go to podcastsavage@gmail.com. Send us your questions, comments, theories, suggestions, pictures, whatever you want. Twitter, &PodcastSavages. You already know. Just follow all the people who are following that one thing, and you'll find us.
Right.
Snapchat.
Love it.
The Savage Podcast.
Easy.
Easy to find.
Find us.
Suddenly easy.
Yeah.
Not so easy before. Wait, maybe that was the Mandela Effect.
It could be.
That previous shit never happened.
Whoa.
That previous shit never happened.
Holy shit.
There it is.
Wow.
Find us on SoundCloud, at SoundCloud. Go on Twitter. You can find us through there, through the SoundCloud, or just go to the download the SoundCloud app, or go to SoundCloud itself, SoundCloud.com. You can find us on the Pocket Cast app. Go to your local Play Store, download that. We're on there along with other great podcasts like Joe Rogan, Bill Burr, Joey Diaz. They're all great, and we're among the great, so check that out. Am I missing anything? Yes, YouTube. Find us, play us, like us, subscribe. It's that simple. Nailed it.
There it is.
Anything else? Did I miss anything? If you listen to the last episode, you can find Jay's home address. See, we were going so good, and I fucking ruined it right
that's
there.
Okay.
God damn it.
We tried so hard.
Are you ready for the final question?
Sure.
All right. Here it is. This comes from Jaime in Tel Aviv.
Okay.
Cool.
Yes.
What's the truth about Jack the Ripper?
Oh, okay. Well, everyone knows the story that we were all told. A murderer. I forgot how many actual deaths.
I think it was 18.
Yeah. What country was it? China?
Well, before China was China.
Okay, good.
Manchuria, China.
Right. And it started off. He was actually, according to the church, they were trying to put him through as a saint, and it went to his head, and he started cutting motherfuckers up.
Yeah, it went right to his head.
Yeah.
Now, the reason the name stuck, when he was a kid, before he was able to become a saint.
Before he was able to become a saint.
He was Jack the Stripper.
Please let me